Hi guys, it's me. I haven't posted a typical vlog where I just talk to the camera in a really long time, like a super long time. So I'm here to do it. Welcome to my house. This feels so weird. I want to clean my house today because Emin is my husband. His band is coming into town tomorrow to practice with him because they live in Florida. And so they're staying in our house and it's kind of a fucking mess. So I'm here to clean. I'm gonna start by doing the dishes. While I start on the dishes and clean out this horrendous sink, I'm gonna talk to you guys on voiceover because this is boring to watch. Hi guys, it's me, voiceover Dani. I've been doing a lot of cleaning in my videos recently, and I know this is kind of a random thing to talk about, but I think that I've learned something about myself. I grew up in a very, very messy house. I had 10 siblings, still do, grew up with 10 siblings, and my mom couldn't really keep up with all the mess because there were so many of us and we were all messy. And so the house was just always dirty. Like she couldn't keep up. No matter how many times she tried, it would always be dirty. And so as a kid, I always felt like guilty about it. So sometimes I would like clean the whole kitchen and think that it would help, but then 2 hours later, the whole thing would be really, really dirty again. And I felt like it was just pointless. Like that was just the way that we lived. And when I went to other people's houses that were super, super clean, I was like, oh my God, this is crazy. This is the cleanest house I've ever been in my life. And so as I became an adult and I moved out on my own, I started off just as messy as I was before. And I was like really disgusting. Like I would never do my laundry. My dishes would pile up in the sink. I didn't like wipe down surfaces enough. So my bathroom was always like just a little dirty all the time. And it was just because I didn't know. Like I didn't really know how to clean. And then I started dating Emin and he became my husband and we lived together for so long that his habits just kind of rubbed off on me. And he made me way cleaner than I am. Like I did not used to be clean at all. And now I clean all the time. And I like to think my house stays pretty clean most of the time, especially if you catch me on a good day, because I've just like gained those habits. And now it makes me feel so peaceful to clean, like extremely peaceful to clean because I grew up in such a messy household. So it's like, I finally have control over like how clean the house is and there's no one else really making a mess except Emin and he doesn't really make much of a mess. And also I feel like a part of me is like righting the wrongs of my childhood when I clean all the time because I never had cleanliness before and now I can have cleanliness whenever I want. And it feels great. So on a daily basis, like I spend so much time cleaning because it just makes me feel safe and it makes me feel comfortable. Is my house 100% clean all the time? No, it's not. And I wish it was. But compared to what I grew up with and compared to what I'm used to and what I used to be like, it is such a big difference and it makes me feel so happy. So I'm excited for people to come stay in my house because then I get to show them my cute house and all my decorations. And I like hosting people most of the time. The only thing I'm worried about, the fact that Emin's bandmates are staying with us, is my like alone time, I guess, to work. Because I have a serious mental problem where I cannot get anything done unless I'm only focusing on that one thing. So like with my YouTube videos, if I'm thinking about anything else, if I'm hanging out with somebody, if someone's staying in my house, if my friend is in town, if I have something I have to do that day that's like a few hours, it's really hard for me to switch from my YouTube channel to that. Or to like not abandon my channel completely while I just go hang out with people. Like, I don't know if it's a one-track mind kind of thing, but I just cannot focus. And like, I'm kind of nervous that his whole band is gonna be here because they're gonna be sleeping in our house. So like, even when the day is done, you know, and everything's chilling and I would normally have time to like, I don't know, get my mind right and figure out what I need to do or what I'm behind on or whatever, then they're gonna be in my house. So I'm excited. I'm definitely excited and I love seeing them and they're some of Emin's good friends and I've met one of them before and it's gonna be fun. It's just, I'm really upset at myself for that horrible disease that I have because it like seriously ruins my life. And it made me kind of sad because my husband is a musician, in case you guys didn't know. And last night he was talking to his manager and his manager was like, oh, you should have Dani come on tour with you because he's going on tour in June, which is so cool. He was like, she would be really good like selling merch or doing content or whatever. And then she can like do her YouTube stuff like at the same time, right? And Emin was like, yeah, she would be really good at that, but also she wouldn't do her YouTube channel. Like if she's not 100% focusing on her YouTube channel, she won't do it. And I felt kind of insecure about myself, but it is the truth, like what he was saying. But I felt kind of bummed that like that's my reality. Like I can't just, I don't know if that's normal or not, but I can't just like go on the road with my husband and then like actually do my channel at the same time. Like it's really hard. I don't know if that's just a me thing or if it's a YouTube thing, but for me, like I have to put all my mental energy into editing because I just don't really enjoy it very much. And it takes like a large amount of focus on my end. And so if I'm not like 100% in it, I won't be able to pay attention. So that makes me kind of sad. So I won't be going on tour with him a lot. But also, I don't really want to go on tour. Like, I do want to in like an idealistic sense, but I know realistically, number one, I have a dog that like I need to take care of and I can't just leave him home for a month. But number two, I really like my house and I love cleaning and I love cooking and I love sleeping in my bed and I hate having an uncomfortable pillow or sleeping in a bus, like in a van. I can't do that shit. Like, I was not built for that. I don't want to say I'm high maintenance, but I would say that I'm high maintenance when I can be. Like, I can be low maintenance and I can have an uncomfortable sleep and not be happy and whatever, it's fine. But would I prefer that? No. Would I prefer to have my own house even if it means not going on tour with my husband? Yeah, I would. And I'm still gonna visit him. I'm still gonna go see him, but like, I just don't want to tour with him the entire time, you know? But it's so cool that I have this dilemma. I don't know about you guys, but I was a massive like 5 Sauce stan when I was a kid and One Direction. And I always thought I was gonna marry Luke Hemmings or Harry Styles or somebody in a band. Like whatever band I was obsessed with, I was like, oh, I'm gonna marry him. And I didn't end up marrying them, but I did end up marrying someone who's in a band. And like when we first got married, it was not a successful band, no offense, Emin. And he wasn't doing anything with his life really, but now he's actually going on tour, which is crazy. So I'm really excited about that because I didn't think I would be like a real band wife. I mean, I kind of thought it was gonna happen, but like I didn't know for sure, obviously. And so now that it's like actually happening, it's really cool that like I have this dilemma of whether or not to go on tour with my husband because that's a really cool opportunity. All right, guys, I'm back. It is nighttime now. The sun went down. I took my dog to the park because if I don't take him to the park, he acts like an absolute menace. Hey, go. And I cleaned my kitchen and my dining room table. But I still have to clean this whole ass living room. I feel like my life is kind of in shambles right now, if that's a good word for it. Not like it's bad necessarily, but I feel like a lot of stuff is just falling behind. Like, it's not that I'm unhappy in my life, but I need to budget, for example. I spend all my money all the time and I really need to budget, and it's really, really hard for me to do and keep up with, so I don't really do it very often. But it's just one of those things that lingers in the back of my mind at all times, and it's really annoying. I need to go grocery shopping. My house is being deep cleaned right now because I'm not in a cleaning routine, and so it's not amazing. So I'm not here to complain. I'm just in like a weird in-between phase of life. And I feel like this happens all the time. So maybe I'm just expecting myself to be in a not in-between phase of life, if that makes sense. Like, I'm having an unrealistic expectation that one day I'll have it all together, and then I won't have to be in this phase where I'm like picking up the pieces. But I think that's unrealistic. Like, I think maybe you're just kind of always picking up pieces, and you can view it as like a really bad thing, or you can view it as like whatever, you know? I mean, that's kind of how I view everything, but you know what I mean. And I think because of that, I'm like hyper focusing on certain things that make me feel safe. So because my whole life feels so unorganized and all over the place, I can't stop listening to the same albums and songs over and over and over again. My favorite band is All Time Low, okay? They've been my favorite band since I was, hold on. Sorry, I just had to turn on a light, but it's really bright and like cool toned. Anyway, they've been my favorite band since I was 12 because I don't know about you guys, but I had a very traumatic life and I had a lot of times in my life where I was very sad, and they have a lot of music for people who are very sad. So when I was a kid and I was 12 and I was really, really sad and wanted to kill myself, I know that's dramatic, but it is what it is, then I would listen to All Time Low, and they had this song called Missing You specifically. That was like my favorite song ever. That song is about wanting to kill yourself. And I know I'm joking about it, sort of, but it is very serious. And they did genuinely help me through a really hard time in my life. And so because of that, they're kind of like my comfort artist. And anytime that I feel like, I guess, out of control in my life, then I listen to their music. And like a few weeks ago, I had something really bad happen to me. Not like really bad. I don't know how to explain it. I told you guys something bad happened to me, but I never told you what it was. It had to do with my family. But it wasn't really my business to tell you, and it still isn't my business to tell you, so I'm not gonna tell you, sorry. But I had that happen, and I listened to their music. I listened to their song Missing You again. Even though I wasn't suicidal, it just made me feel comfortable because I listened to it at a previous very hard time in my life, and so it made me feel good, okay? That's the whole point of what I'm trying to say. Sometimes, even if a song doesn't apply to you, the artist who is singing the song just makes you feel comfortable and makes you feel happy. And so you want to listen to it in times of turmoil because it makes you feel good about yourself, you know? All right, the only other thing I had to do was just kind of finish up spiffing up the living room and vacuum, and I did indeed finish it. And look how nice my house looked after I spent literally this whole day cleaning. I think this took me like 4 hours. I know this is a 10-minute video, but I shortened it a lot. But thank you guys for coming along with me while I clean my house. I hope this inspired you to clean your house. Have a good night or day or morning or whatever, and I'll see you guys in a couple days. Goodbye.